boy Quill Will, and we are back. Three guys with common sense. I'm here with my co-host, my brethren. We got Avatar slang. You can't say the slang without ang. He's
There
always
you
bringing
go.
the elements together. And then we got your boy Moolah over there, the Beyonce of the group. Dan Lime, the what was it the 250 hoe,
Yes, sir.
the man with all the common sense and a sixth grade reading level. You have to be here to know.
Yep.
You have to be here to know.
Yep.
But we're back, three guys, episode two of whatever damn season this is. What season three? Whatever. We are here, and I'll get us started. Does everybody have their beverage? If you been listening, we have a beverage check. There is a beverage check. Mike, what we got today?
Well, I got the white bottle of that Bel Air, the best one. The blue one's overrated. The black bottle. I'm just tired of the pink one. I like this one. I like this one. Oh, I was gonna have some Douce, but I don't have no lemonade. Well, I do have lemonade. It's upstairs, but just a quick thing. We all back with the Douce team, y'all, because Hove he owns 75% now. We all back with the Douce team. So I bought me a fresh bottle
Wait, wait, wait,
on
wait, wait,
Saturday.
wait, wait,
What?
wait.
What happened?
You was drinking it because of him? I thought it's because he liked it.
No, we
Why the
just
hell
did
would
today.
no, I drank it because it's Hove. I would just drink Hennessy.
So all that you gave me for the past 2 years was just you getting my nerves, telling me it tastes better.
Yeah.
It does actually taste better.
Well, no, it actually does. But um,
If
I
it
was
didn't, it wouldn't matter.
I was boycotting it until Hove got his
No, I'm not
his
gonna lie.
ownership back.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm just talking about like when you was telling me it tastes better,
Oh, fair
but it
enough.
actually do.
It actually
Yeah, it
does
does.
taste better.
To me, it tastes the same, but that's because I don't get into all that.
Yeah,
I
and
got
I'm not a big drinker either, but those two I drink the most. Let's say that.
I got
Okay.
abrasive double IPA. Um, this is from a brand. I'm not gonna give them a shout out because they ain't paying us,
Wow.
but it's pretty good. You want to make sure your pour is right. That's a good pour. No, it's from Surly Brewing Company. Um,
Are they
Came from a
are they,
recommendation.
are they white?
Oh, absolutely. And this
Oh,
is one of those beers that tastes better when you pour it in the glass instead of drinking it out of the can. The air gotta mix in. But
I won't know because I don't drink beer.
nah,
Damn, that's filled up all the way to the brim.
To the brim,
that's the kind
that's
of day we
hilarious.
in. Fuck them niggas.
What? You can't say that while drinking a white owned brewing company's beer.
You know what? That is actually true.
This guy's crazy.
This
Anyway,
is
go ahead, Slang. What are you sipping on? Probably
water.
H2O.
Water.
Is H2O it? Oh, he still got that
No,
organic nutritious milk.
yeah,
Whatever.
I did some yoga today, and I did some core exercises, so I needed protein up. And it's not
Got you.
Got
milk, Mike. It's vegan.
you
It's
gotta be
vegan.
ready. You gotta be ready for his fight with he who shall not be named.
It's funny because there's like so I don't know who you're talking about, and that's probably the
You
sad
going
part.
you gonna knock the pussy out like fight night?
I
R.I.P. Takeoff, man. Shout out to Quavo and Offset. Well,
Yo, let me tell y'all,
shout out to Quavo because
I didn't
Offset.
watch none of that.
Wow.
Offset was forbidden from a
I heard
stage.
Dragon Ball
That's the word on the
Z.
street.
Dragon Ball Z.
What about
I was
cocaine?
playing Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot.
I didn't even know Dragon Ball Z had games.
Yeah,
Just
man.
like a lot of them.
Shout out to Dragon Ball
You
Z.
know, everything big has a game, right, Mike?
Good point.
I'm waiting on the
Even
state
Ducktales had a
prosecuting.
game.
DuckTales
Happening.
did have a game.
The DuckTales game is actually legendary. Hey Carmen in the back. I know she can't hear me, but
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm actually.
on with the pod.
So we got a couple of things going on. NBA big trade. Kyrie Irving to my second favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks. Um,
It
for
it could
Spencer
it could
Dinwiddie.
be it could be um it could be a team going to the Western Conference Finals or a complete disaster. You never know. And the luck that Cuban has been having with trying to build around Luca has not been going well. It's kind of actually been the West Coast version of what's been going on with Embiid. Not to that
Right.
degree, but
No, I get it. This is the first he kind of failed to put a star next to Nowitzki.
yeah,
I mean,
it,
he
it
had he
took a,
had good
it took
role
a bunch of
players.
role players. The best star was Nash, and he just didn't want to pay Nash.
He gave it to Eric Dampier.
He
Good.
had that one really stacked year in randomly in '05.
No, he gave Mark Cuban gave Steve Nash's money to Eric fucking Dampier.
No, I'm saying there was one year when they had Nash. It was Nash, Finley, Walker, Dirk, Jameson came off the bench, and they lost to the Kings in like 4. Y'all remember that?
Yeah,
I choose not to remember it.
yeah.
Well, that was a team, but it just didn't work.
But Dirk is still the only. Well, Steve Nash wasn't Steve Nash. If that makes sense.
He needed to be unleashed, as they
Yep.
say.
Yep.
So, what do y'all think of the trade? I I got to see it before I really make a judgment. Personally, I would never gamble on Kyrie because day to day he's like PMSing. So I don't know what to think. Like I think he's a good guy personally. I think
Mhm.
he's likable. I just wouldn't trust him day to day operations on
You're
with
saying if
a
you're a
basketball team.
GM,
If I was the GM, I would never trade for him.
And Mike, you understand? You're a manager in real life. Mike is a boss. We won't say where, but Mike is a boss, and he's not hiring nobody or bringing nobody underneath him that he can't trust
No.
as a person. And like you could be as great of a guy as you want. If you ain't reliable, you ain't gonna get a job. It's
Yeah.
that simple.
Yeah. I just think Kyrie, he's at that he's becoming almost like a journeyman at this point because who's really going to gamble on you now? What's crazy is this is really starting to look like the Allen Iverson stuff, but Kyrie can still play at a high level. It's
Right.
just I just can't trust him. I just can't.
I think the one good thing is if Kyrie plays, you know, like you said, you bring up a really good point. If you look at two of the three or four highest usage rates in basketball right now, you brought up the Sixers parallel. Embiid is the number one center. He's the number one center ever usage rate wise, which is crazy. That's I think part of the reason why he's never healthy in the playoffs. But Luca is right there,
Mhm.
either like right underneath him, pause, or right over top of him in the usage rate ranking wise. So I think the offensive load will definitely be lessened because Luka's never played with this level of a scorer. I mean, he got dinosaur Dirk Nowitzki, and pretty much that was it. He hasn't played with this talented of a scorer, and I think it could help. But I need to see the fit, over a period of time before I'm like really convinced. I think they don't have any chance of re-signing him. To be honest, I think he's gone at the end. It's giving very much rental vibes. But that's
It
just me.
it and it could be. Um, and I don't think Dallas is done making moves because at this point you're going to get ran out the gym defensively. Um,
I think
unless
they
you unless you just outscore everybody in the end.
I think they're probably gonna have to move Christian Wood. I think that has probably failed.
Yeah,
Um,
it's crazy. No center could they've had rotation. It's a revolving door at that center position.
they can't get anybody that to make it work. Like
Yeah.
they need something. They need a Clint Capella could work in that system. a role guy defensively at
Miles
the
Why
Turner,
not go
but Miles
for
Turner
Aiton?
read up.
Because the Suns
Do they
aren't
have the
going to
capital
trade in
for
conference.
Aiton?
They're not going to trade in conference. The Suns.
They
Hmm.
could make it happen. I mean, I don't know.
The
But
way
then
you think they
again,
do.
Aiden is another one where sometimes I just feel like he's cashing it in. None of these players really give me the love of basketball feel anymore.
It's
Like
like
Luka does, and of course LeBron, but we're going to talk about him in a little bit. But nobody really gives me that love for basketball like they should have.
maybe I like maybe Giannis. Probably Giannis.
Yeah,
Just players that love it. It's just that. I mean, there has to be.
yeah,
No. There's plenty of players that love what comes with basketball.
yeah.
No, I know what that means. I'm saying like the game of basketball. There's people that love basketball.
We know. Ben Simmons does it.
No.
I mean, technically, he had a worse career than John Wall.
The hell with him.
Oh God.
No, I'm rehashing an old take before we even had this. Back when we used to do this on Zoom.
What was the take? Who was it by?
Me, I
Oh.
basically said, just a tall John Wall, no accolades.
Wow. At least John Wall will try to shoot, even though he can't.
Hey, Markelle Fultz tries to shoot.
Markelle Fultz actually shoots now. Shout out to the Magic. We're only 3.5 games out of 10th place. I think they should make a deal at the trade deadline.
They can go for that, I guess.
I don't know who they're going to go for. I would say
the Magic have young talent. They got surpluses, and I would try to move Jonathan Isaac, but I don't think he has no value.
Who wants him?
And he's got a team option at the end of the year. What's crazy?
No, I'm not trying to be funny. Like,
you'd be surprised. His archetype, I should say, people will want a defensive type of player like that is valuable.
It's just not for the price that he is. He's
correct.
That's why the Magic's probably going to decline his team option, but he's slated next year to make $17 million if the team option was picked up.
Yeah, he's gone.
For him, aside from the fact that I think he's nuts, if you're GM, would you pay for Jonathan Isaac?
Me, no, and he's on my team. But to Quill's point, a team is going to roll the dice just for the defensive aspects.
And because he's young, I guess.
A team like the Mavericks could probably afford to make that kind of move.
What's crazy is on defense, he's just as talented as Matisse Thybulle. It's just that he can't stay on the damn floor.
Is he that?
He is. Yeah, he is.
No. Jonathan Isaac is very, very, very good defensively.
He is.
No, I've heard that he's good, but is he like Matisse Thybulle?
He just don't stay on the damn floor.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy, and his thing is health. Offensively, he was a little bit behind, but he wasn't bad. Like, he's not bad at all.
Yeah, he's when healthy, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. It's just he doesn't have the stats to back it up. So he's basically Biggie Small. He's Big L of basketball.
Wow,
I like that.
Wow.
Shout out Big Pun.
Punisher. I think this is around the anniversary of him dying.
It is this the actual day.
Just like you killed Heavy.
Please stop bringing that up.
Do you want me to say it?
Oh, y'all, he killed Heavy D.
No, don't
say it because
don't try to escape this Big Pun smoke. To Big Pun, they say good riddance.
Wow. Oh shit, we definitely did. Didn't we say that?
Wow.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of my West Philly friends said it, including y'all.
Yeah, he definitely beat his wife in the Mac 10 on tape.
All right, on to
No, you don't get to Skip that.
He said he was trying to live, and
He died the next day.
You want to say moving on? Like you're not the worst one, Mike.
I'm trying to move on so I don't crack on him again.
Anyways,
yeah, right.
We got a big accomplishment probably happening tonight, maybe.
Something I never thought I would see. Oh, he's definitely gonna go for it tonight.
It's funny because when he said big accomplishment, I thought he meant someone graduated.
LeBron's the biggest stat pattern since Wilt. Of course he's gonna go for it.
Why you like this? You like this, Mike? First of all, Westbrook's the biggest stat pattern.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Wilt, and then it's LeBron, and then it's Westbrook.
Why is LeBron
over Westbrook?
Mm-hmm. LeBron does stuff for the record book.
You gonna have to send me proof on that later. Even if it's not like articles, even
he's averaging 30 points and it's not producing winning basketball.
Well, that's an easy box to put things in, but it's just
that's
you have to.
All right. If I was, when's the last time y'all watched the Lakers game? Honest question.
I watched games.
I catch them here and there, but I watched both Sixer games.
He does things in a game that's just strictly for stat pattern. It was like what Westbrook was doing. He's making sure he's getting 30 to average 30 points. He's making sure he's getting 34, 32, even when they're down 20, where the game is out of reach.
I'm not saying that he doesn't do that. I'm more so saying I wouldn't put him ahead of Westbrook.
Oh, what Westbrook was doing was criminal. With Steven Adams and them giving Westbrook rebounds.
Well, all right. Westbrook did it for a season. LeBron has been doing it the last 5.
I've doing it more, even before the triple double. Like they, the joke. He found out what to get these and get accomplishments. And I've noticed that with Durant. Like when Durant would go down, he's like, "Oh, all right, triple double time."
I'm not. I mean, if you want to put Westbrook over LeBron, I'm not arguing that. But LeBron is a stat pattern. He just is. There's no way around it. Especially now, and I'm not mad at him. I think stat pattern. I'm not saying it in a negative way, but LeBron is doing things where it's not really benefiting the team; it's benefiting him. That's what I mean by stat padding.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a closer look.
Look at the Lakers.
I think they were gonna suck regardless. Like context is always needed when it comes to how you get your 30. So I gotta pay attention to how he's getting it more.
He's getting it by a lot of his garbage points in the end. When the game, like I said, when the game's out of reach. And they're not going to win the game. He's making sure he's getting his points. And I'm, like I said, if you want to go for the record, go for it. It doesn't change my mind because you already passed Jordan. So it don't matter.
Let me ask y'all this: how do you feel in a broader sense with the uptick in scoring? You got guys, like the Embiids. Let me see, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, LeBron. Was a Dame averaging 30? Of all these guys averaging 30 now, like, is it a lack of defense? Or are these guys really that skilled offensively? You see like the Giannis's of the world and things like that. Like, what do y'all think? Before I chime in.
So
it's a
go ahead, Derek.
I'd say it's and there's so many different matchups, so much different variables. I think harder to play defense. Along with the fact that the guys are skilled, I think it could be both. A viewer, let me.
Shout out to Shaq.
Rory Wilson, Facebook user, said, "I think the defense is lacking."
That's partly true.
That's painfully obvious, but I'll wait till Derek is done.
I was just gonna say, I just think it's like I think that's easy to say, but it's like you can't it's economy or any you can't have it all. Like you can have defensive effort, but way to offense, then offense is going to prevail. Like effort doesn't make you shut down these players. Offensive scheming is much better than it was even 10 years ago. Some teams say we're going to shoot threes even if we miss because making 10 threes is better than making 12 twos. Like that's their logic. So that's just hard. So if you have all shooters and one great scorer, that scorer going to snap once. So like I said, I think the true thing.
I think scoring is up. Obviously, the pace is much faster. So there's a lot more possessions in the game of basketball than you had 20, 30 years ago. So
Bingo.
obviously there's a natural progression there. And with such a quicker pace, guys have to make business decisions in the sense of where they're going to put their effort, and where you're going to maximize your effort. And this is what the league has created. Um, this is where the league has been trending with the way they allow teams, to basically have their way offensively because hey, offense brings in the viewers. Offense is where it's at. There's not an appreciation for the two-way guys like they're like a Giannis or an Embiid. Like they're praised, for their scoring ability. I think more so than their defensive ability. But then even like you see guys like Embiid now, where he's an all-world defender, but he's clearly taking plays off, taking a bunch of plays off on defense and saving it because he's way more valuable to his team on offense, which is crazy to me. But that's kind of where the game has evolved. And then you got some guys who spend a career not even trying or just getting toasted on defense, like a Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving. Um, Guys like Dame. Well, Dame isn't a terrible defender, but you're gonna hunt him too. You know.
But who under 6'5" is a great defender even and like that's
And
hard. Like
You
it's
talking
hard
about
to be
today or ever?
today is hard.
today. Like just Holiday,
Marcus
there's
Smart. Marcus Smart.
Smart, there's
But Drew Holiday is 6'6", I thought.
Thibault. He's like 6'4" ish. He has a good
Drew Holiday
wingspan.
is
He has a good
Drew Holiday
wingspan.
is 6'5". Drew Holiday
He has
is
a,
6'5".
but he has like a good, really good wingspan also.
Jalen Suggs.
You think
Okay,
Jalen's a
I
good
don't watch him
defender?
closely enough. I'll
I,
admit
I, I
that.
don't watch him enough to
Yep.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
6'4",
6'5" is
6'5",
kind of
yeah.
6'5" is kind of that cutoff. I'm assuming, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Yeah, so
I guess Pat
like at
Beverly.
that size,
I think Pat Beverly is an overrated defender, but that's
It
he
depends.
he would make plays. Used to be.
My take is this is what the NBA, like, to Quill's point, this is what the NBA wanted, and um the uptick in offense, the uptick in, all right, let me say this. Yes, we are in the most, like, people like to throw out there, this is the most talented uh era of basketball we live in. Yeah, it's talented, but that don't mean the players are good. Just because centers can shoot threes don't mean that's good basketball. Just because that 1 through 5 can do almost damn near the same things now don't equal good basketball. Um, and there's an uptick in points and everything because one is pace, two is you can't touch nobody no more. So everybody's just it's almost like an all-star game every game. Even the all-star game is unwatchable.
it's
And
pickup basketball. It's pickup ball.
yes, it and you know, you can kind of see you can't really separate what team is really elite anymore. Like in the 2000s, why I say that's bad basketball is because it was the individuals, but then the same teams was going to the championships or going to their respected conference championships. Like people would say the Spurs were boring. Well, if boring gets you 5 championships, then the hell that's the greatest boring of all time. But everybody loves just dunks. To Quill's point again, the NBA wanted this TikTok era, the clips era, Donovan Mitchell scoring 70 and all that shit. Everybody likes that stuff. I think it's stupid, but I'm more of a traditional basketball fan. Now this game, like my cousin Mike, shout out to Mike, he listens to us. He's hated basketball the last 20 years because it's not team oriented. It's all about the individual, making sure he gets what he's doing, and the coaches are now lackluster because it's all this AAU stuff, and you know like Doc now is looked at as a damn legend because he got one championship, which you'd be a damn fool to fuck up what happened with the Celtics that first year. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the real reason why they won,
Wait.
and I hate.
Go ahead. Are you about to say something important?
I was gonna say the real reason why they won was because that Celtics team that first year had so much camaraderie with them, and that Lakers team was still trying to figure itself out because they just had traded for Powell, so they were still trying to build some type of chemistry. Now, the following year, shout out to Orlando and KG being hurt, but that's another story. But then we saw them same two teams go right back to the finals. But you were saying something, Derek?
I was going to say that, but here's one thing missing. The rules have been the same for a while, but the offense only took to be credit to the draft, to the GMs are better now.
What rules have been the same?
The what do you call it? The hand.
Well, like illegal defense or like hand checking.
Oh, hand checking
and all that. Yeah,
that went out in what 2000 and what?
Yeah, that went out in like 03, something like that. Early 2000.
Keep talking. I'll check it. I'll look it up.
When did illegal defense go out?
But the increase in zone defense, it's hard to explain zone defense without physically doing it for y'all.
I understand zone defense.
Zone defense opens up the wings. It opens up the blind spots basically. And when that's always open, you always have a wide open shot. To where when they play man, like they used to try to play zone back in the 80s, but that was called illegal defense. Correct. But now, because there's an uptick in, first of all, with all these threes, and when you miss a three, that starts to transition automatically. Like
long rebound.
That's why there's so many fast breaks now, because even on fast breaks, guys are launching threes. And that, to Quill's point, that's another long rebound, and we're back on a fast break. So that's why lead is safe anymore.
That's where I'm going when I'm saying it's not just the rules that I had to play. And for some teams, that's a good thing. For some teams, it's like you're just copying. And for Golden State, that's an awesome thing. Produce some of the best teams we've seen. It's just like you're just trying to keep up with the Joneses.
The thing with the Warriors was they play defense.
Yeah, they do play defense,
but
they play defense.
But no, they play defensive to this era. Now, would you compare their defenses to other on a points per game basis? No, but on other statistics, the average person is looking at points allowed.
When you have stoppers, like Golden State had stoppers. I mean, Draymond was a stopper. Iguodala was a stopper. And then
Durant
you had
became one.
Durant became one for a period of time. He was really good defensively for a couple of years when he really put the effort there.
Them two
Mhm.
championships they won. He played the best defense you could play. That them 2 seasons.
Especially on LeBron when
Yeah,
they had him guarding LeBron.
Iggy got an MVP because of his defense on LeBron, which I think is blasphemy, but
No, that was pretty stupid. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think that's
Um,
blasphemy.
then you look at Klay Thompson. I always felt like, especially in his younger days, was a really good two-way player.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe not quite all NBA defense, but it may be in that next 10 or
Yeah,
so
people
group.
mostly agree he's a good defender.
So you look at it like you had guys that buy in, and they were just able to hide Steph.
Hmm.
But
But
then go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, but with all that said, if you're gonna look at it, they still are points per game than other good defensive teams. So once this era, if you're gonna look at it that way,
I
like
wonder what would happen if you could adjust for like pace, like what their numbers would look like.
that's what I'm saying. If you when you look at the numbers adjusted for pace, I used to have a lot of time to look through it. When you adjust it for pace, they're up there with a lot of teams that were good back in the '90s, back in the 2000s. So
Oh,
they're up there.
you're saying we don't view you. You were saying that we don't view them as one of the best defensive like championship teams of all time.
I guess I could. I'm not. I
Because
can't. Person probably doesn't.
I
But
was about to say because I
I'm
do.
saying
I think them and
okay,
the Spurs.
that's fair. Okay,
That
so
team was really
more
good
so what I'm
defensively.
saying is there's certain numbers that will jump out, and I'm saying for you have to include them in that. You kind of have to adjust for this, the way just for the fact that the pace is just too grueling compared to the 80s was to 2005
When it
because the
was
Suns
real
did a
slow.
slowest team today. I'm just
Hmm.
trying to say that just to be
Hmm.
fair. I'm not saying the Warriors are better or worse. I'm just saying it's like what we say with players. You got to compare the players to the time they were in. You kind of got to do that with defense. Excuses for the new guys because I don't care. But just to be fair, it's just like they have a lot to stop. Like it's like with football, you can't get played. That's what's going on in basketball. Like Milwaukee, when they won, I think they chose as opposed to other teams decided to take away the paint. You can't take away everything in today's game.
The there's just no balance no more. It's kind
I
of
don't think we're ever going to find balance. I think you just gotta pick what you try to do and stick with it, or adjust if you can.
I'm about to sound like the
My
old
bad for
guy.
cutting you off.
I'm about
Oh,
to sound like the
you
old
weren't
guy,
the
but
old guy the whole time.
we we had balance in the '90s, man. The early '90s.
Hmm.
The early
That's
'90s.
fair, but it was also different. Well, that's probably your
Oh
point, low key.
yeah. I just think it when I'm trying to think of when, but it was balanced because the expansions just came in. I'm talking about like 90 to like 95. That was like the most balanced the NBA has ever been. But
That's probably fair. I'm
everybody
gonna have to look into that,
everybody sees
but it feels right.
but how people were talking about, oh, this is the most talent the league has had. People were saying that for 90 93. You know what I mean? Because at that point, up to that point, that was the most talented players
So
have been because it was a balance.
let's speak on that. I think in a stars, if you're you can nitpick to the '90s, but I think when people say it's the most talented now, me and you listen to Bill Simmons a lot. He thinks it's the most talented now. Not to say those are better than ones back then, but like the are really good. Like we're deep in that way. So it's like maybe not the top end talent, but the back. Like personally, it's more talented than the 2000s. Like
Oh, without question.
so like someone like CJ McCollum. If you back and you saw CJ play and that was the first person you saw, you probably be like, wow, how many else exist? You'll be like, oh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
People don't even realize that
So like that,
it gets deeper than CJ McCollum.
I just said that because he's at 20-point scorer with no appearances. Yeah, then there's other players like Darius Garland didn't make it this year, right?
No.
That's crazy.
And I think he's really good. And mind you, like we always say, we want the guy who can score, but he cares about passing. Darius Garland.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Darius Garland's
I guess we don't really want that.
He's a nice young player. He's going to be an all-star for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
they'll see him in the playoffs, and they'll have the bias next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we'll see. I really like that Cleveland group. I really do like that Cleveland group, and I know I clowned Cleveland last year for extending Jared Allen for what they extended him for. It's worth every penny.
You changed your mind on that. I don't remember you clowning him, but you changed your mind. That's cool.
Oh, I 100% clowned them because I said they were crazy. He's worth every penny.
All right, to wrap up basketball, I got on my LeBron jersey. Obviously, I support the man, but very close to me. You know who I got right here?
Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan.
That was a coincidence. I didn't mean to do that. No, but seriously, I think it's great that I'm actually going to live to see someone pass Kareem's record, because that was something that when I was young, people said that we would never see. So, shout out to LeBron doing it. To me, you're the second greatest player to ever play. I don't think there's no debate in that. What he's been able to do for 20 years, taking care of his body, always motivated to play. I was about to lie. I was about to say always showing up. He didn't do that all the time. But always at least being. I can't even say he's always being there because sometimes he sound loud.
Oh man,
gosh,
he's.
Are you sure you're trying to be nice?
I am, because a motivated LeBron, a 100% bought in LeBron, is the best player I've ever seen, and I've only seen it twice, and that was 2013 LeBron James and 2016 LeBron James. And for me, for the reason why, the many reasons why, but the one reason why he's not the greatest is because I just feel like when he likes to take back seats too much, or he likes to just mail it in, like kind of like what I was getting to with the stat pad and stuff. He knows the season is out of reach, so he's doing things just to make sure he get these records. And for me, as a basketball fan, I don't like it, because if it doesn't equal winning basketball, then what the hell is the point? But
that team stinks though.
They do stink.
Yeah, I don't think make that.
But this is the team that you wanted.
That's true. That becomes a different argument now. Look,
yeah, depending on they always say that
is his fault.
The running joke is that LeBron is the worst GM in NBA history.
Yeah. So to that point, Mike, that you're not wrong argument, low key.
Yeah, you handpicked most of these players. You know what I mean? This is the team that you wanted. So now when they don't trade for Kyrie, you can't say, like he said, well, maybe it's me. It's like, really, dog? You wanted Westbrook. You begged for Westbrook. Then you realize 20 games in, this ain't gonna work. And now you want him shipped out. You begged for AD. You got the best version of AD you got in the bubble, and now you realize he's Mr. Glass in real life.
Right.
Just to revert back to the bubble.
He could always can the Philly.
Oh my God. Just to revert back to the bubble. Please stop telling me the bubble was the best basketball I've ever seen because it's not. I've heard multiple people say that.
I never heard that before.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
people said it in the group. I'm just not gonna say no names.
it's a certain quality, I guess, because it's like you don't have to travel, you don't have that kind of fatigue,
That
you
wasn't.
know.
It just wasn't the best basketball. It
Can we
wasn't.
get to an actual point because I'm not gonna argue LeBron no more.
No,
Oh,
Like this point,
okay.
you don't like this point, Mike.
okay.
Kareem had, and no one knows that.
Say it again.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had an awesome season out there
He had an awesome season.
at age 38 or 6.
You fading in and out, so I'm. Yeah, we can't. I can't hear you at all. You hear him, Coil?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Cutting out.
I think he was saying Kareem had an awesome season at age 38.
Sure.
Oh,
I mean, in that
36.
36.
in that time frame. So,
Because people are making it seem like LeBron's still breaking up. I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah, you sound good right now.
I'll throw that point in just so they like that can't be the case for the GOAT, or else that means it has to be Kareem also.
Yeah, and you know, people do this thing where they like I don't like to call them casuals, but that's kind of what they are. But that's like a cliche word now. The people who don't really follow basketball, they only follow from the point they started watching to now, and they don't really care about going back. Those type of
people who agree with them.
Yeah, I can't really argue with those type of people because you're only saying somebody's the GOAT because you have no real reasons why anybody else could be. You know what I mean? So it's more of like those same people will say, well, Allen Iverson's in my top 10. It's like, well, what are we talking about then? Nah, because you're only telling me who you've liked from the point that you started liking basketball. And you don't really care enough to go back. But if you cared enough to go back, you're scared of the results that you might see. And that's it's kind of like walking. It's kind of like when you walk in an empty house. You're going to only walk through certain doors because you're scared of what you're going to walk into on some of the doors, right? So I think a lot of fans are simply scared to go back because they think that it's going to change. It's kind of like when you watch a documentary. When the documentary is over, you have a different perspective of what you just watched, right? Like if you watch a documentary on white people, or if you watch a movie like going against white people, you're going to come out saying, damn, I hate white people right now. That's kind of like what history is. But if you really follow it to try to understand it and not look at it trying to be convinced, you will come out greater in that aspect. I hope I make sense.
No, I get you.
I think people think too much that someone's trying to change their mind on who they should like, and that's not the case. Just because that person is the GOAT don't mean you have to like them. Tom Brady to me is the GOAT. Why? Because for what he did at that position for however many years, he dominated. He just did. Now, for me, in basketball, it's kind of nuanced. You can't really use the same arguments in basketball as you do for football. But you can't. It's hard to describe because I'm very passionate about basketball. You can't crumble up certain things to bloom something else, right? You can't say, well, LeBron played against better talent than Mike, and that makes him better because he played against better talent. Bullshit. Because to the point that Michael Jordan played, he played against the best talent up to that point. That's why you can't plug and play. Well, if LeBron played in the 80s, he would have did this and the third. He wouldn't have had some of the luxuries that he has now if he played in the 80s. That's just not how it works. Otherwise, Spencer Dinwiddie would have been the best player in the 70s because he has a luxury that Walt Frazier just didn't have. So you can't do that. Like you that can't be your argument. And you can't bring up that Mike would get smoked by Dan Marley in games. Dan Marley was a good player. It's just when you're comparing him to Kevin Durant, obviously there's ebbs and flows in that one. But look who you're saying.
But they do that. They're doing that because Dan Marley is white. Unathletic players do good in today's league. People forget we just watched Kevin Love be good a couple years ago.
I literally heard someone say on a podcast, a credible podcast, last week that Michael Jordan did not play any great guards in the finals. Now, look, I swear I'm not going to bore y'all. I'm just going to say this and get out of here.
Magic.
Clyde Drexler. I'm not even going to say Magic because the person obviously don't know what the hell he's talking about. Clyde Drexler was considered the second best shooting guard in the league the whole time Michael Jordan was in the league.
Correct.
If we was to make a top 7 greatest shooting guards list, Clyde Drexler comes up at some point. The only players who come up is Michael Jordan. The reason why what I'm basically trying to speed up and say is Clyde Drexler was considered a top 10 shooting guard of all time in '95.
And he still is today. He still is today.
So the only players that really passed him, arguably, is Kobe, Wade,
Iverson,
and maybe Harden.
Yep.
Outside of them 4, if those 4 don't play, he's the second greatest shooting guard to ever play. That's kind of that's kind of the point I'm trying to speed up to why people can't talk in a vacuum. You're talking about things, and the this is not. I'm not comparing Clyde Drexler to Kevin Durant, but what Kevin Durant is to LeBron James is what Clyde Drexler was compared to Michael Jordan. It's just Michael Jordan was just better than that motherfucker. And that's just it. That's just it in the story.
I don't know guys like Drexler. I know he didn't play against like George Gervin. I know George actually was on one of Michael's teams later on down the line, but I guess we lose sight of how good some of those guys were, like how good someone like the Kevin Johnsons of the world were, who in my opinion should be a Hall of Famer. It's crazy that he's not in. And you got guys like Kevin Johnson. You got guys, some really quality guards. Are you just gonna disrespect Gary Payton? Say he ain't playing nobody? Glove, arguably.
Wait a minute.
Here we go.
I know you did not just say the glove. When you told me Matisse Thybulle is a better defensive player, you disrespected the glove.
You and Joe.
You and Joe. You disrespected the glove. My second favorite point guard of all time. You disrespected him. But continue. I know what you mean.
GP was it, man. No respect for those guys, and they just take it for sweet because he's like, those guys actually try to play the game the right way, and they were elite at that point in time. I mean, are we just not going to talk about like the fucking Reggie Millers of the world, all the stuff like the people he had to go through to get to the finals? There were some really.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't trying to.
You ain't trying what?
I ain't trying to talk about Reggie Miller. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Starks. Yeah, Starks. But
Quill, somebody told me that LeBron is a better defender than Michael Jordan.
All right, man. we could do this all day, but we gotta.
You know why they said he was better?
Why?
Because
Oh
he
my
guarded
gosh.
Derrick Rose.
Real quick before we move off of basketball, we kind of
Because
been
he
on this
guarded
for a
Derrick
while.
Rose. That makes him better.
So I got a good question for you all.
Derrick
What will
fucking
be
Rose.
what will be broken first? Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game or John Stockton's all-time assist or steals record?
You talking about?
Yeah, what's going to be broken first? What record's going to be broken first?
Wilt.
The scoring record.
I think Wilt's record is going to fall. In the next 20 years, we're going to see a 100-point game.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I don't
Mike
want to
gonna
see
cry.
it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want to
History.
I don't want to see that.
Let's talk about that next.
And it's going to be a guard who does it. The guard is going to go nuts and probably.
It's going to be Jason. It's going to be Jason Tatum.
It wouldn't shock me.
No, it wouldn't shock me at all.
Donovan Mitchell scored 70. And that's not a gripe against Donovan Mitchell. It's just Donovan Mitchell scored 70. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm about to come up in a minute. I just want them to talk about. Oh, well, he slammed the door.
So that's interesting. I think Wilt's record is going to be broken before John. Nobody's catching John. I'm sorry, it's not happening.
And you motherfuckers said that John Stockton was overrated just because y'all saw the white guy in the Jazz jersey. You motherfuckers don't know shit. That's why I can't talk. But I can't talk shit with y'all. This is my rant. Y'all say shit. Don't know why y'all saying it. Now all of a sudden, Larry Bird's overrated and John Stockton's overrated just because they're white.
Listen, John
don't do this shit.
He'd be so good. He's literally a pick and roll point guard who defended his position very well. All league defense.
Somebody said, could John even shoot like that? I said, you know what?
He just didn't shoot because he was a fucking point guard.
And move on to music because we could do this all day.
He shot 38%.
All right. Talk about the Eagles in the Super Bowl to not get out of here.
Yeah, Eagles. I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles in a close game. 38.
When are you going to give it up that Jalen Hurts is your greatest draft pick y'all ever had?
He's not. But
the greatest draft pick ever?
No.
It's hard to say.
I saw Joe say that. I'm just throwing shit at a wall.
No, I have to
consider it.
I'm
drafted a lot of players.
I'm heavily into the Jalen Hurts was not a good draft pick. And in hindsight, yeah, it's a great pick, but in the time it still was a terrible pick, and I stand by that.
You can't play Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah, in that moment, it was a terrible pick, given all the needs that the Eagles had. But in hindsight, it's just like, yeah, I mean, shit, it worked out. So I mean, I was arguing with your friend today, who was the biggest Jalen Hurts gobbler in the history of life, and he was just saying how Nick Saban screwed up and benching Jalen Hurts in the championship game. I'm like, dog, you didn't even watch the game. He stunk. I was watching the game. So
I hope that don't happen in the Super Bowl.
Listen, he needs that game. He needs that game because a lot of people's lasting image in their mind is Jalen Hurts stinking it in the national championship.
My lasting image is him having a hell of a season this season.
Oh, he did have a hell of a season, but there's a lot of doubters out there still. You got to do it on the biggest stage to earn the respect.
But the thing is, people are weird because he can have a bad game. Like, I don't care about people when it comes to football or people.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
he can sound like me with basketball.
Wait, what you mean?
I said you sound like me with basketball. I just don't care about people's opinions.
He can literally stink, and they'll be like, that's what it took.
38-34 is my prediction. Philadelphia Eagles over the Kansas City Chiefs. 38-34. What do you all think?
Mike said 34 on us.
Wow. Wow, that's confidence. What you got? What you got, Slanger?
Mm, like
Yes, sir.
24.
I'm wrapping
So it's
up
like
now.
28,
24, 28?
30. I'm not good with scores, but I know
The NF,
how much.
the NFL script leaked.
Yep, the
So
script definitely
they,
leaked.
they, they said 37-34 Eagles.
I got 38, 34 Eagles.
I got 27-24. The script was wrong. They meant to type a 2 instead of the 3.
We got Mike
If,
Stradamus over
and if
there.
you motherfuckers think the NFL is scripted or the NBA is scripted, you motherfuckers are stupid.
Only person that did that dumb shit was Tim Donaghy.
If it was scripted, why the hell would the Knicks not win a championship? Here come Rocklock. Here come my boy Derek, man. I'm not coming home, man. I
Come
haven't
on
been.
home.
I haven't
Come
been.
on home,
I
man.
haven't been an Eagles fan since the
Ever.
Super Bowl with T.O. in it. That was my last day of being an Eagles fan.
Man, you don't like any Philly
To what's
sports teams.
happening?
I like the Phillies.
You do like the Phillies. That is true.
I like the Flyers. Ever since that game we went to, I used to be a Penguins fan.
Yo, fuck
that was
off.
the greatest game I've ever been to.
Yo, that's the only game you ever been. It was a great game.
That's
that
one of the
really
greatest.
was a great game.
That's one of the greatest sporting events I've ever been to.
It's a great game. You know what's funny? My job is doing a hockey game, and they're playing the Oilers for that game for our discounted tickets. And I'm thinking about going.
What's the best sporting event you ever been to?
Honestly, like excitement wise, it had to have been that game.
That game was crazy.
It was crazy. It was. We've been to some fun Sixers games. I tell you, I will tell you this. I mean, I got a chance. I was blessed to see AI play a bunch. Embiid's first game, I was there for that, and that was a really big moment in Philly sports history because it just kind of validated the hype around Embiid. Like, oh, like he really is. Nobody knew like what they were gonna get with Embiid, but that was I actually just ran through my Dropbox, running through some photos, and I ran across the video that I took of Embiid's very first introduction. That's the game where Westbrook did the point because the dude flipped them off.
Oh
yeah, like,
yeah.
But
yeah,
Westbrook was talking shit that whole game, and he earned that. We'll put it like that. But I'd say that game. I'd say it's funny. Most of the Eagles games I've ever been to, they lost, which is crazy.
I was at the Eagles game when they ran over the Vikings. That was my first ever.
Because your pop is a Vikings
fan. So that was the best because I was doing the Eagles chant and everything. That was the best.
And then I'd say yeah. I'd say what else? That hockey game that we went to was very fun. I've been to some interesting Phillies games and maybe a couple Penn State football games, but really it was that Edmonton versus Flyers hockey game where we was down and came back and won an overtime. Shit was crazy.
The best sporting event. Say it again.
I said, who was what overtime game?
It was hockey. Edmonton versus the Flyers. We came back and won. I think we was down like 3-1.
The best sporting event I've ever been to. It was that first Sixers game against the Miami Heat when Michael Carter Williams looked like fucking Magic Johnson.
I remember
that was the best game I've ever witnessed because literally no one knew that this dude was going to do any of that. This dude it felt like he had 100 steals. He was making we was in there going crazy. That was the best game.
Was that the year y'all had the season tickets?
Yes, that was the very first game.
Shout out to Vince.
Yo, that was the very first. To this day, that's the best game I've ever been to. But any Sixers game with me is an event. But second is when Tobias Harris hit the game winner against the Sixers when he played for the Magic because the whole crowd was quiet and I was the only one screaming and everybody Everybody was just looking at me like this motherfucker's crazy.
I think I was at the game. Matter of fact, I was at the game where Dirk Nowitzki hit the buzzer beater on the Sixers.
Okay. That's crazy.
Now-
And I wore Mavericks gear.
Every time that clip comes out, I always send it to Woody and ask him, was we at that game? Because we was at a Mavericks game. He'd be like, that's not the game, Mike. And I'm like, oh, shit.
I was at that game, and I got a lot of shit about
Yeah,
about
bet.
that. Wearing a Mavericks jersey. Wearing a Mavericks hat. I was a Nowitzki fan.
Man, going to games with me is so fun because I cuss the players out.
Oh.
I cuss fans out.
Oh, you was there for that? Yeah, that's a cool. TJ McConnell game where that was a nice moment for TJ.
I'm trying to think. I was there when Allen Iverson got his jersey retired.
Yuck. That's nuts. That's
damn.
Say yuck.
Wow.
But am I delayed?
A little bit.
Fresh.
It's funny
Yeah.
you say yuck.
Talking.
We went to a couple games. We went to Tobias's first game in Philly. We went to Jimmy Butler's first game in Philly.
Yeah.
That was a year we went to about 4 or 5. We had the seats under the basket with Mo Bamba. You still ain't get your picture with Mo Bamba. Fuck
he promised me he was gonna come back to get the picture, man. That's why you getting the hell off my team on Thursday. You're out of here. You want to fight Austin Rivers? Austin Rivers said, "Go ask about me in Orlando." Who the hell we gonna ask, Mickey? Get the hell out of here.
All right, let's pivot a little bit because I know we running on time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I guess, the big thing music-wise. The Grammys came. Kendrick won a couple of awards. Beyonce won a couple of awards. Kendrick is cementing himself firmly in the top 10 ever. He's quickly rising into my top 5, and I don't feel bad about it.
Cool, you said that years ago.
Listen.
What's funny is I actually revisited that new album today. I like it better today than I did the week it came out, and I was trying to program it in my head. And I said to myself, I need to give this a couple months to revisit, and I did.
I think seeing it live, like seeing the performance live, like in tour, changed my perspective on the album. Just seeing the emotion and the feelings in that, it definitely changed. And then I can go back and listen to that album, and I'm like, shit, like that's some wild shit.
Shout out to Hov.
Shout out to Hov. God did perform. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to rap a 4-minute verse straight through.
Why would we understand that, Quill?
That's not easy. Some people don't appreciate it. Some people take it for granted. It's not easy.
They need to put that hip hop tribute on tour.
Yes.
That hip hop tribute was everything.
I pay whatever.
Dog, I almost cried.
You always cry. That don't mean nothing no more.
Me and Mike was going back and forth via text. Like, holy shit. Like, they had everybody. Shout out to De La Soul. Shout out to
De La Soul. You can stream all that music in March. Make sure y'all buffoons listen to it since y'all ain't been listening to it.
How are we going to listen to it? It wasn't available.
It's going to be listened.
Y'all should have been had the CD. Or
wait. We was going to buy De La Soul CDs when we were 7?
I had them.
You're the only one.
Sam Goody.
Wow. Nah, man. You were a different 8-year-old, man. He was watching Darkwing Duck and De La Soul videos.
My cousin actually had the CD.
Oh, well then. Not everyone had a cousin.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to LL Cool J, the GOAT.
The GOAT!
shout out to the God.
The fucking GOAT.
Shout out to the God, Rakim. Yo, why is it so? People saw the embrace between Rakim and Jay-Z. It's funny, they're only like 2 years apart. But
how many times you gonna tell me that? Now y'all got me in regular Derek form.
Yo, they said Hov was drinking blood. You idiots get on the internet and
wait.
Like
no.
They said he was drinking blood for real.
No, I'm not. Who cares? I'm not listening to those people. I'm going to get back to the point you were trying to make. Why did you bring up their age? You was getting somewhere.
No, it's funny. This is random fact. They're really legitimately only 2 years apart age-wise, but they're two completely different eras.
Yeah, because Big Daddy Kane started young and earlier.
Well,
but
my brother-in-law said that
as far as commercially being known,
but my brother-in-law said that's why nobody, when Hov put out his first album, is his peers. He said only Rakim should be his peer.
I don't know, man. I don't know why you even brought him up, to be honest.
Wow, damn! Don't disrespect the God.
What? I'm talking
about
I'm talking about
He's talking about my brother-in-law is an idiot.
Oh shit. Yo,
you people who just want to classify hip hop in age groups, you're an idiot. Because if
that's
the case,
it's about musical sound and because sound changes over time, not the people. I mean, well, people change, but you know what I'm trying to say.
My brother-in-law said it took Hov till he was 26 to make an album.
Yeah, let's move on. So,
hey, I like
so who's the GOAT again?
Jay-Z or LL, you pick.
So yeah, listen,
this guy.
You're not gonna trick us up.
Who else? First of all, out of all the artists, they picked LL to introduce the hip hop tribute. Who else?
He deserves that. He deserves that though.
GOAT.
That's a terrible reason. That's a terrible reason.
He is the flag bearer of hip hop. He's excellent.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. You know what I don't agree with?
He's sexy. What?
Anyway, you know what I don't agree with? Not so much you, Mike, because you just started recently. Cool. It feels like even Mike one time was like, "Why are you doing this?" One day we was just chilling. We just happened to be scrolling, and he just like, "Give LL his credit, man." And I'm like, "Yo, no one talked about this guy." Like at this point, you even know I make fun of him, and you just like, "Give him his credit, man." And I was like, "What's he talking about?" You heard that, right, Mike?
LL is the GOAT, man.
No, all jokes aside though, Quill, do you argue with people who don't like him?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, because one day, this is how it used to go down. My cousin and Mike used to argue. This is before I jumped in and started making fun of him too. Because I didn't make fun of him until the pastrami joke.
Wait, pause.
Before he said it, he said hot like pastrami. But anyway, so we just seen you scrolling on Facebook, going on this rant. So I'm like, "Yo, Mike, did you talk to Quill about what my cousin said?" And Mike was like, "I lied to you not. I did not bring that man up to Quill." So it was just hilarious that you went on a rant as soon as my cousin decided to slander him for 2 weeks.
LL Cool J is the GOAT because he said he was the GOAT.
You don't even think he's the GOAT. You always say Jay-Z, you liar.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
LL Cool J is the GOAT because he said he's the GOAT.
That's a dumb reason. You know who else said that? My cousin. My cousin said Lil Wayne's the GOAT just because he said it, and we killed him for that. He was like, "Well, he said it, so you just gotta believe him, man."
Anyways, shout out to Beyonce. There's a little controversy.
All the albums and never got album of the year.
I mean,
I'm a Beyonce stan, so I'm just talking.
I don't care enough to.
Damn.
I'm kind of with you. We shouldn't even care that much, to be honest.
Hey, she got 32. She got 32 Grammys? She's the all-time leader.
I'm the Beyonce stan that doesn't think she has a classic album.
Hey, how about we do this thing where we log off?
We're venturing in. We're gonna get canceled before we.
Well, Mike, we're gonna revisit that next week because we're not gonna have the time to dig into that. Because you said some things which might go into her having a classic album.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about next. Really dive into what makes a classic album.
That's a good topic. And we should have did that this week, but I forgot.
Yeah, and kind of like, we need to. I know we've talked about it at points in time in previous seasons, but we need to kind of rehash that and come up with a common sense classic rubric.
And with that rubric, we'll realize that Nelly's not on that list.
Come on, Nellyville is a classic. It's in the moment, but it's a classic.
I thought Hammer was a classic.
Yeah, sequel? Now this. Wow.
I said that's both of them are classics.
No, that's not what you said at the time, Mike. But we don't got the time now.
No, I said he dropped 2 back-to-back classics.
All right, man. I don't got time for this.
I did.
We don't. Well, yeah. You know what? We will revisit that though.
We'll revisit it next week. Let's get some closing remarks. What we got?
When the gunplay rings all day.
Whatever that
got
is.
jobs, some sell yay. Others just smoke and fuck all day. Shout out to Nelly.
That's your closing remark.
No.
I got a good closing remark.
LeBron's going to pass Kareem in points tonight, and I'm going to be asleep.
Wow.
Okay.
Hold on. You do yours, Quill. I think I wrote mine down.
Quill, my closing remark to you is you're going to have to nut in that thing and let it simmer, man. And enough with the cats. I'm tired of seeing and hearing about cats. It's time to make a baby, man.
What?
What
kind of advice is this?
It's time to
listen. You're not getting me caught. You're not getting me caught up with her mother again.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. That was wrong. Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
I'm so sorry about that.
Listen, her mom.
Stop having your friends. Stop having your parents be your Facebook friends, man. That should be against the law. I want to talk shit.
Your Facebook friends with your dad, Mike?
No, I ain't. My dad don't have nothing.
He's too cool for all of that.
Yeah. My mom on Facebook, but she ain't find me yet. I think she be seeing my post though.
No, my grandmom and great grandmom definitely be seeing my post, and some of my language is not savory to them. But my great grandmom was upset one time. There we go. Parents, grandparents, mind your damn business.
Yeah, let Quill nut in peace.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wait,
can I get my closing statement?
He lives with that woman. You think they ain't fucking? Jesus Christ.
Go ahead, Derek.
Okay. So, cancel culture and the American dream are two things made up by white people to keep us stupid and confused.
American Dream, the amusement park in East Rutherford?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the American dream, like this guy made from rags to riches, so you can too.
American woman.
All right, see you later.
All right.
Woman. Who made that song? Who made that song?
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz, yeah. We're gonna
Kid Rock fucking sucks.
I'm an American badass.
I don't know what that is.
He sucks.
You didn't watch?
If that's his song, it sucks.
No, American Badass is actually pretty cool. American Badass, he definitely.
What kind of name is Kid Rock anyway?
Yo, you know what the best America song is?
All right.
America! Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
All right. I'll talk to y'all next week.
All right. We gonna get out of here. For Avatar slang.
Fuck yeah!
Can't say the slang without Ang. And this fucker right here, Mike Money.
Yeah!
My name is Quill Will. We're out of here.
Cousin, dude.
Pause.
Yeah.
They only do that in Ohio.
I shop at Spencer's, dude.
Dog, we have listeners in Mississippi.
That's fine. They're probably brother cousins.
Damn. Jerry Jones is the GOAT, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ending it before we get canceled.
I'm from Oklahoma.